If you're over 60, there's something I need you to hear, something I wish every senior in America knew. You've probably been told that fading vision is just part of getting older. The blurry pages, the nighttime glare, the muted colors, the dry, gritty eyes, it's all just normal. But let me be very clear with you, it's not just age. As a neurologist with over 30 years treating older adults, I can tell you most vision loss after 60 doesn't come from aging itself. It comes from something far more silent and preventable: chronic inflammation in the retina and deficiencies in the very nutrients your eyes are starving for. And yet, no one warns you. Not the TV ads selling glasses, not the eye clinics pushing drops and surgeries, and certainly not the billion-dollar industry that profits every time you lose a little more of your sight. But today, we're changing that because the truth is, nature gave us something extraordinary: seeds. Yes, seeds. They're not just bird food or salad toppers. They're nutritional powerhouses that, when used right, can reduce inflammation, protect your retina, and even reverse some vision decline without drugs, without side effects, and without draining your wallet. In today's video, I'll walk you through 7 scientifically backed seeds, starting with the most overlooked and ending with the most powerful, that could help you protect and even reclaim your eyesight, one bite at a time. But before we begin, let me hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what's your age and how has your vision changed in the last few years? I read every comment and reply with personalized tips for your eyes. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another doctor-approved health tip made just for older adults like you. Now, let's begin with a seed that seems ordinary but could quietly become your first step back to clear vision. Number 1, sunflower seeds, vitamin E and retinal armor. Now let's talk about a seed most of us overlook: the humble sunflower seed. It's small, it's crunchy, it's in trail mix or maybe sprinkled on a salad. But what most people don't realize, especially after age 60, is that sunflower seeds are one of nature's richest sources of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant your retina desperately needs. You see, as we age, the back of the eye, the retina, becomes increasingly vulnerable to something called oxidative stress. That's a fancy term, but here's what it means in simple language. Over time, your eyes are constantly exposed to light, oxygen, and microscopic damage from daily life. All that exposure creates harmful molecules called free radicals. And those free radicals start breaking down the delicate cells in your retina, the very cells that allow you to read, recognize faces, and see clearly in low light. Vitamin E acts like a shield. It neutralizes these harmful free radicals and slows down the damage. Think of it like putting sunscreen on your eyes from the inside out. A long-term study in the archives of ophthalmology found that people who consumed vitamin E-rich foods like sunflower seeds had up to a 25% lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration, AMD, one of the leading causes of blindness in seniors. Let me tell you about Mahmoud, a 67-year-old retired engineer who came to my clinic in North Carolina. He was sharp, precise, but increasingly frustrated by his poor night vision, especially when driving. He'd stop driving after sunset because headlights and low light made everything blurry. He thought it was just getting older. But when we reviewed his diet, he wasn't getting any vitamin E. So we made one small change. He started adding 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds to his lunch every day, either sprinkled on his salad or eaten as a snack. That's it. No drugs, no pills. 2 months later, Mahmoud walked back in and said, "Doc, I drove home last night without squinting." His follow-up eye scan showed reduced oxidative markers in his retina. But even more importantly, he got his confidence back. Driving after dark meant dinners with friends again. It meant seeing his grandson's evening soccer games again. Here's my advice. If you're over 60, add a small handful, just 1-2 tablespoons, of sunflower seeds into your day. Always eat them with food, especially something with healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, to help your body absorb the vitamin E. And if you're on blood thinners or taking vitamin E supplements, talk to your doctor to avoid interactions. Because here's the truth. Your eyes aren't just aging, they're asking for protection. And in something as simple as a seed, that protection might already be in your pantry. Now, if you thought sunflower seeds were powerful, wait until you hear about the next one. A seed packed with zinc, the mineral that keeps your retina strong and clear, especially under screen light and UV exposure. Let's talk about pumpkin seeds. Number 2, pumpkin seeds, zinc and retinal strength. If sunflower seeds are the retina's vitamin E shield, then pumpkin seeds are the gatekeepers, quietly protecting how your eye absorbs light and stays clear. Most people think of pumpkin seeds as a fall snack or a source of magnesium, but few realize these little green seeds are packed with one of the most important minerals for aging eyes, zinc. Zinc isn't just a supplement, it's a transporter. It carries vitamin A from your liver directly to your retina, where it helps produce melanin, the natural pigment that shields your eyes from UV rays, blue light from screens, and everyday wear and tear. When zinc runs low, this whole process slows down. And as a result, your retina becomes more exposed to damage, especially the central area responsible for sharp vision. What's alarming is that zinc deficiency is very common in people over 60. As we age, our bodies absorb minerals less efficiently. Add in dietary restrictions, low meat intake, or digestive issues, and many seniors are unknowingly falling behind on this critical nutrient. One of the largest clinical trials in eye health, published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science, showed that seniors who received zinc had a 21% lower risk of progressing to late-stage macular degeneration, a condition that can take away the ability to read, drive, or recognize faces. Let me share the story of Lillian, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Missouri. She came to my clinic frustrated that reading had become difficult. "It's like a gray fog in the center of every page," she said. Her scan revealed early signs of macular decline. But what stood out was her lab result: low zinc levels. Instead of starting pills, we made one change. She added 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds to her morning oatmeal. Every day, no exceptions. That gave her roughly 2.5 milligrams of natural zinc. 3 months later, Lillian didn't just stop her vision from worsening. She told me she could finally read comfortably again, without a magnifier. More importantly, she started tutoring kids in her neighborhood, something she had thought was lost forever. It wasn't a miracle. It was nourishment. So if you're over 60, ask yourself, are you getting enough zinc? Pumpkin seeds are one of the easiest, gentlest, and most digestible ways to support your retina. One small handful a day, on oatmeal, in yogurt, or even as a snack, is all it takes to give your eyes what they need. Because your retina doesn't just need protection, it needs fuel. And sometimes that fuel is hidden in a humble little seed. Now, if you thought pumpkin seeds were impressive, wait until we talk about a seed even smaller, but with powerful anti-inflammatory effects that soothe dry eyes and help maintain blood flow to the retina. Let's talk about chia seeds. Number 3, chia seeds, omega-3s, and retinal blood flow. Now let's turn our attention to something even smaller, but incredibly powerful: chia seeds. They may be tiny, but what they offer your eyes is tremendous. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha linolenic acid, ALA. These fats play a critical role in reducing inflammation, especially the kind that builds silently in your retina as you age. Here's the truth most seniors never hear. As we grow older, chronic low-grade inflammation becomes one of the most destructive forces in our eyes. It thins the retina, dries the surface, weakens blood vessels, and quietly sets the stage for vision loss. But because it doesn't always hurt, most people never know it's happening until the damage is already done. That's where omega-3s from chia seeds come in. They work to calm this inflammation. They support the health of your retinal blood vessels. And they improve the stability of your tear film, so your eyes feel more comfortable, hydrated, and clear. A controlled clinical trial published in Nutrients showed that daily ALA intake improved the structure of retinal blood vessels and significantly reduced inflammation markers in just 8 weeks. But the benefits of chia seeds don't stop at omega-3. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful plant compounds that are directly absorbed by your eye. Think of them as internal sunglasses that filter out harmful blue light and UV rays. Let me tell you about Nancy, a 70-year-old former seamstress from Wisconsin. She came in complaining of blurry vision while embroidering, even under bright lighting. Her eyes felt dry and irritated. But her scans didn't show any structural damage, just signs of inflammation. When I asked about her diet, she hardly consumed any healthy fats at all. So we added one simple habit. Every morning, Nancy soaked 2 tablespoons of chia seeds overnight and blended them into her smoothie. That's it. After 6 weeks, her dry eye symptoms were almost gone, and the details in her embroidery, those tiny threads and patterns, were crisp again. She later told me, "It wasn't just my eyes. I felt like my hands and my spirit were back." That's the quiet power of a small seed. Here's how you can start. Soak 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in water overnight. They'll turn into a soft gel. Add them to your morning smoothie, yogurt, or even oatmeal. And be consistent. Eye health is built day by day, not overnight. If your eyes feel dry, gritty, or you're struggling with fine detail, don't ignore it. Sometimes your eyes aren't giving up. They're just missing the nutrients they need to heal. Next, we'll explore a seed that goes one step further, one that strengthens the eye's moisture layer and soothes irritation from the inside out. Let's talk about flax seeds. Number 4, flax seeds, moisture and the eye's protective film. As we get older, one of the most frustrating things about our eyes isn't just blurry vision, it's that dry, irritated feeling that shows up in the afternoon or evening. It feels like there's grit in your eye. Your eyes burn a little. You blink more just to focus. But here's the real issue. That's not just a nuisance. It's a warning sign that your eye's protective moisture barrier is starting to break down. Your eyes are coated with a thin layer called the tear film. It keeps your eyes hydrated, smooth, and protected from light, wind, bacteria, and pollution. As we age, that tear film becomes unstable. It evaporates too quickly. And that's when dryness, blurred vision, and discomfort begin. This is where flax seeds shine. Flax seeds are one of nature's most concentrated sources of plant-based omega-3s, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. These fats reduce inflammation on the surface of the eye, and they also improve the quality of lipids in your tears, helping them stay longer, spread evenly, and keep your eyes moist throughout the day. A clinical study published in the Cornea Journal found that older adults who consumed flaxseed oil daily experienced up to a 42% improvement in dry eye symptoms within just 30 days. That's a huge relief for something as simple as adding a seed to your breakfast. Let me share the story of Youssef, a 69-year-old retired school bus driver. He came to me with a very specific complaint. By late afternoon, My eyes feel sandy and dry. I'm squinting just to see. Um, he had tried eye drops, but they didn't last more than an hour or two. When we looked at his diet, there were zero omega 3s. No fish, no seeds, no healthy fats. So we made one small change. Each morning, Yusef mixed 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds into his yogurt. And I mean ground flax, because whole flax seeds often pass right through the digestive system without being absorbed. 2 weeks later, he returned and told me the gritty sensation had eased. After a month, he said he'd stopped needing eye drops altogether. His wife even joked, he's watching action movies again without rubbing his eyes every 10 minutes. Just one daily habit, yet it gave him his comfort back. So if your eyes feel dry, tired, or blurry by late afternoon, I encourage you. Try flax seeds, 1 small tablespoon per day, added to yogurt, smoothies, or oatmeal, can be a natural way to rebuild your eye's moisture shield. Make sure you use ground flax seeds or grind them fresh before eating to unlock the nutrients. And remember, relief doesn't always come from a prescription bottle. Sometimes it's in your kitchen, quiet, simple, and powerful. In the next part, we'll explore a tiny black seed known for boosting blood flow to the retina and protecting against diabetes-related vision loss. Let's talk about black sesame seeds. Number 5. Black sesame seeds, retinal circulation and diabetic protection. Now let's talk about a seed that's been cherished for centuries in traditional diets across Asia, but remains a hidden gem when it comes to vision health. Black sesame seeds. These tiny black seeds are more than just a flavorful topping. They are a potent source of vitamin B1, zinc, and powerful antioxidants like sesamin and sesamelin, compounds that protect the delicate blood vessels in your retina. Why does this matter? Because as we age, especially if we have diabetes or blood sugar issues, the small vessels in the back of our eyes become vulnerable. Poor circulation, high blood sugar, and inflammation can cause those vessels to leak, bleed, or scar. This condition is known as diabetic retinopathy, and it's one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. But here's the good news. Black sesame seeds improve microcirculation, reduce oxidative stress, and help regulate blood sugar levels. 3 major factors in protecting the retina from diabetic damage. A clinical study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that regular black sesame intake led to significant improvements in retinal blood flow and a marked reduction in inflammation within just 6 weeks. Let me introduce you to Ament, a 72-year-old retired tailor. He came to me after noticing dark floaters in his vision and a slight warping when he looked at straight lines. He had been diagnosed with early-stage diabetic retinopathy. Although his blood sugar was fairly controlled, his biggest fear was going blind. While continuing his medical treatment, we introduced a gentle nutritional change, a daily mix of roasted black sesame seeds with a teaspoon of honey taken each evening before bed. It became part of his nighttime ritual. 8 weeks later, his OCT scan showed reduced retinal swelling. Even more meaningful, he said the floaters had decreased and he could read again without distortion. But what struck me most was his emotional shift. I thought blindness was just waiting for me, he said. But now I feel like I've bought myself more time with something so simple. That's what black sesame can offer. Not a miracle, but momentum. A quiet tool that works with your body to protect the vision you still have. If you're over 60, especially if you've had blood sugar issues, I strongly recommend giving black sesame seeds a place in your daily diet. Here's how. Toast them lightly and mix with a touch of honey, or sprinkle over steamed vegetables or rice. 1 to 2 teaspoons a day is enough. Be consistent and always buy from a reliable source to ensure freshness. In our next section, we'll explore a seed that targets one of the most fragile but essential parts of your visual system, the optic nerve. And it's a seed that delivers a rare kind of healing omega that even most doctors don't talk about. Let's discover the power of hemp seeds. Number 6, hemp seeds, protecting the optic nerve. There's a part of your eye that most people don't think about, but it plays a central role in everything you see. The optic nerve. This is your eye's lifeline, a bundle of over 1 million tiny nerve fibers that carry visual signals from the retina to your brain. When this nerve is damaged, your vision starts to fade, often from the outer edges inward. And the worst part? It can happen quietly, without warning. This is exactly what happens in glaucoma, one of the most serious causes of vision loss in older adults. But here's the hopeful part. One small seed offers real protection. Hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are rich in a rare omega-6 fat called gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. While many omega-6 fats promote inflammation, GLA does the opposite. It calms inflammation, especially in delicate nerve tissues like the optic nerve. A study published in Current Eye Research found that seniors who took GLA supplements had improved blood flow to the eyes and slowed optic nerve damage by up to 28% over just 90 days. Let me tell you about Elias, a 75-year-old retired newspaper editor. He lived for the written word, headlines, fonts, layout. But after retiring, he began to notice tunnel vision and pressure building in his eyes. Diagnosed with early-stage glaucoma, he feared losing his ability to read. Alongside his prescribed eye drops, we introduced a simple change: 2 tablespoons of shelled hemp seeds every morning. He stirred them into yogurt or blended them into smoothies. After 2 months, his eye pressure lowered slightly, but more importantly, the thinning of his optic nerve had slowed. And emotionally, he felt empowered. The drops helped, he told me, but the seeds made me feel like I was taking control of my eyes. If you're over 60 and concerned about optic nerve health, or if you've been diagnosed with glaucoma, consider adding hemp seeds to your daily meals. How to use 1-2 tablespoons daily, shelled hemp seeds. Mix into yogurt, oatmeal, smoothies, or sprinkle on toast. Choose high quality, organic if possible, and store them in the fridge. In our final section, we're going to explore the most powerful seed of all, one that's been clinically shown to restore retinal function and improve vision in people with macular degeneration. Let's discover the gift of saffron. Number 7, saffron, retinal regeneration and restoring sight. Among all the seeds we've explored, one stands alone at the top. It's not just a protector, it's a vision restorer. Backed by some of the strongest clinical evidence, it may be one of nature's most powerful allies for aging eyes. That seed is saffron. Technically, saffron comes from the dried threads, stigmas, of the crocus flower. But these deep red strands carry crocin and quercetin, 2 remarkable antioxidants that target and regenerate the photoreceptor cells in your retina, the very cells responsible for capturing light and turning it into the images you see. In age-related macular degeneration, AMD, these cells break down, leading to blurriness, wavy lines, or even black spots in the center of your vision. But saffron doesn't just slow this process, it can reverse it. A clinical trial published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology showed that patients with early stage AMD who took 20 milliliters of standardized saffron extract daily experienced significant improvements in visual acuity and retinal sensitivity in just 3 months. Now, let me introduce Abraham, a 79-year-old former painter from Alexandria. For decades, he worked with color and fine detail, but recently his world began to fade. Faces blurred, colors dulled, Reading became nearly impossible. Doctors told him his AMD would only get worse. His daughter brought him to us, hoping for something, anything that could help. I didn't promise miracles, but I recommended 20 milligrams of pure saffron extract daily, along with a clean, supportive diet. 6 weeks later, Abraham began noticing the patterns on his prayer rug again. A few weeks after that, he could recognize his grandson's face from across the room. After 3 months, his retina scan showed better electrical responsiveness, meaning the retina was functioning better. I thought the world was going dark, he said quietly, holding back tears, but saffron helped me see again. If your central vision is fading, if faces or words seem fuzzy, saffron might be the missing piece. But it must be pure, lab-tested, and taken consistently at the right dose. How to use saffron. Take 20 milligrams a day of standardized saffron extract, not culinary amounts. Look for lab-tested brands to avoid fake or diluted versions. Pair with a balanced diet rich in leafy greens and omega-3s. This isn't wishful thinking. It's biochemistry. Your eyes can recover when you give them what they truly need. Number 8, grapeseed extract, the vision guardian for aging eyes. If you're over 60 and your vision feels like it's slipping, especially when reading small print, driving at dusk, or adjusting to bright light, there may be a hidden reason: fragile capillaries in your retina. But what if I told you there's a little-known seed that could protect those vessels, boost circulation to your eyes, and even slow down age-related decline? I'm talking about grapeseed extract, a quiet but powerful vision ally. You may have heard of antioxidants like vitamin C or E, but grapeseed extract contains something far more potent: oligomeric proanthocyanidins, OPCs. These compounds are 20 times stronger than vitamin C and 50 times stronger than vitamin E in neutralizing free radicals, the tiny molecules that slowly break down your retina one cell at a time. But the real magic of OPCs is what they do for your microcirculation, the tiny blood vessels in your eyes. These vessels nourish your retina, but with age, they become fragile, leaky, or clogged, especially if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or even just years of oxidative stress. That's where grapeseed extract shines. It strengthens your capillaries, reduces inflammation, and improves blood flow to the most delicate areas of your eye. It doesn't just protect your vision, it preserves your independence. Let me tell you about Judith, an 80-year-old retired school librarian from Florida. She came to me worried that her vision was closing in. She described shadows in her side vision and floaters drifting like ghosts across her eyes. Her biggest fear? Losing her ability to read, the one joy that had always comforted her. When we reviewed her diet and labs, everything pointed to microvascular stress, tiny retinal vessels under strain. Instead of piling on new medications, we tried something gentle: 100 milligrams of standardized grapeseed extract every morning with her breakfast. 6 weeks later, Judith emailed me a photo. She was holding her favorite novel, smiling, with a handwritten note that said, Chapter 12, and not a shadow in sight. She told me she could read again without a magnifier. The floaters had faded, and the pressure behind her eyes had eased. She didn't feel old anymore. She felt in control. That's what I want for you. Here's how to use grapeseed extract safely. Dose: 100 to 150 milligrams per day of a standardized, clinically tested extract. Timing: take it with food, preferably breakfast. Caution: if you're taking blood thinners, consult your doctor first. OPCs have natural anticoagulant effects. And remember, don't expect miracles overnight. Healing takes time, especially after the age of 60. But over weeks and months, your retina can regain strength. Your blood vessels can recover. And your world doesn't have to grow darker. Sometimes the answer isn't another pill or another surgery. Sometimes it's a seed. By now, I hope you see, at age 60 and beyond, your eyes aren't failing. They're speaking to you. They're not asking for stronger glasses or more expensive drops. They're asking for nourishment. From sunflower seeds to pumpkin seeds, flax to saffron, black sesame to grapeseed extract. These are not just foods. They're nature's quiet protectors, and science is finally catching up to what many traditional cultures have long known. Your eyes can heal, your vision can strengthen, and you don't have to watch the world slowly fade away. If there's one thing I want you to take from today's message, it's this. You are not powerless. Whether you're 65, 75, or even 85, your body still has the remarkable ability to repair and protect when you give it the right tools, at the right time, and with enough patience. If you found this video helpful, please comment 1 below to let me know you're here with me on this journey. And if you have specific questions about your eyes, share them. I read every comment and reply personally. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There's so much more I want to share with you. And if what's worrying you most right now is cataracts, I have good news. There's a simple, affordable fruit, something you can eat every day, that can help brighten blurry vision and stop cataracts from getting worse before surgery ever becomes necessary. Watch my next video, Cataracts. Eat this fruit daily to make your eyes bright and cataract-free. Just 1 fruit a day. Your vision might thank you sooner than you think. 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 Think.